the beginning of the show. And of course, DJ E taking care of you musically. Now, I'm so excited. Punchline comedy. Listen, I have, you know, when it comes to comedy, there was a time where African comedians, or if it's just a comedy that used to come out of Africa, Kenya specifically, it used to be so Kenyan that no one else would enjoy the comedy from any other part of the world because the jokes were very specific to Kenya. And now with how the industry has just expanded and how, you know, we have just been living as one country all over the continent, I'm just loving what is coming out right now. So shout out to Punchline Comedy for that. And I have some peeps in the studio with me. What's good, everybody? Yeah. That is the energy. That is the energy. Let's just now up it one more, yeah? Yeah. All right, so. And I've got these cool cats with me in the studio, yo! Yeah. Yeah. So much better. So much better. Okay, so Shiro, let me start off with you because you're First Lady of the crew. Yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank
you.
I
will start off by you just telling us your name and a bit about you and of course how you got into comedy.
Thank you. My name is Shiro Mwangi. 27, single, but that's not the point.
I love it. You have to just say it at the beginning.
Yes. Yeah. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah. You just know.
Yes. I got into comedy 7 months ago. A little over 7 months ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I joined Punchline immediately after I started. Yes. Okay. And it's been a beautiful journey.
How long you said?
7 months.
7 months?
Yes.
Oh, so you're a newbie.
Very new.
So cute. Oh my God. So like in 10 years, don't forget us. Okay. Like when you become this Kevin, don't forget us. All right. Yeah. So let's go over to Dar es Salaam.
Yep. My name is Evans Bukuku. I'm from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm from Punchline Africa, Tanzania. And we've started a pipeline and connection and a great working relationship with Punchline Comedy Club Nairobi through Eric and the whole team. And basically, we've just organizing an exchange programs. There's so many comics from Kenya who've gone to Tanzania, and they've done such an amazing job. And so many other artists from Tanzania have come here. My business partner, Ahmed Dahal, Hamis Mdee, Pepe, De Gratias, and the majority of English-speaking comics have come this side, and we've got some more coming in the next couple of months. And we've also taken so many like Marcus, of course, Eric has been there multiple times. Yes. And so many other comics who come from this side have also gone to that side as well. Not just on a performance level, but also on a production level. The whole point is to create this pipeline which is sustainable, that we're growing the industry. People just see that, oh my goodness, I didn't know Shiru. Like Shiru 7 months ago was not the same Shiru she is today, through a specific, aggressive approach to like growing comics who are really serious about the business. And so it's a great pleasure to be here. I'll be performing tomorrow and the day after alongside my colleagues from South Africa. And our friend who's American, but the truth is he's also 10% Nigerian.
Oh yeah, so
11%.
Oh, 11%.
He's 23 and me. Like, he's got some Ghanaian in him. He's got some.
He doesn't have Kenyan, no?
2%. 2%.
Oh, 2%.
Just like a cocktail.
5% everything.
But it all depends which country he's in. And so it's a pleasure coming through this time round and seeing the growth. And so we want to see like 2024, same time, you're like, woo, things have completely changed. Yeah. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for hosting us. It's lovely.
Thank you so much, Evans. I was just saying you owe me money in Kiswahili.
Kwanza Kiswahili.
Oh, kabisa. Hata sasa yetu
tunaongelea kule
kule. Sasa tunazungumza nini? Sisi hapa Kiswahili yetu lakini si kama
Kiswahili ni Kiswahili chetu.
So
labda nikiamua kuleta
I'm already speaking Kiborana. Evans, you're going to
embark. Zetu zote mbili, Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Kwanza tunakukaribisha sana uje au ukuje, lakini
ukuje, that's true. I don't know why I added the cool, but let's just move on, guys. I feel like this is, I don't like him anymore. I just said you had great vibes, but no, Kiswahili in TZ is so different. You feel like you don't know Kiswahili when you go there. You know what I mean? Like, what are you speaking? Just communicate in English. Communicate. So let's go to SA. What's good, my boy?
Yeah, my name is Dumiso Lindi, aka the Rooster, and I'm from South Africa. And this is my second time doing Distant Relatives. Yeah. I did it last year when he first started, he kicked it off. And it's good to be back, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you liking Nairobi so far? Are they
treating, I'm loving Nairobi.
I don't know anybody. No, Eric also. Are they taking good care of you?
They've taken good care of me. I've fed the giraffes. They have seen the animals, I've seen the orphan, what do you call it,
But
elephants.
you can't speak like that. You
got
have
everything.
You have the Pakistan essay.
You know,
Maybe
no,
Ian can.
No, but here's the great part about it. Like, they give you a choice, you know.
Okay.
It's like, yo, you want to go swim or you want to go see the animals? First time last year, we went to go swim in Diani.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great
Now
time.
it's
Diani is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time around, you couldn't do that alone, the American guy. So we needed to be next to him.
Yeah.
Like, just in case these animals, they just take off the clothes. Like, woo! No, we just massage. Sorry, man. We're in character.
Yeah, we're in character. So, do you think politics, SA politics, is funnier than Kenyan politics, or who do you think is winning? As to how they're playing us.
I haven't been exposed to Kenyan comedy. Wait.
Comedy.
Not politics. Politics. I haven't been
It really
exposed
is the
to.
same.
It's still, yeah, I was about to say. I haven't been exposed to Kenyan politics. I know our politics is a whole movie.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
I mean,
when I'm sad, I watch your parliament.
but the great part though is how much you guys know about us. It makes my job really easy. Because if I say Julius Malema, the whole room, like, wow, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or I mention another name, you know.
Yeah.
So
I just arrived.
Yeah, I just arrived. I mean,
arrived.
you know,
Yeah.
such things. So they really make my job really easy.
Yeah.
Compared to if I go to another African country and perform there and they just know about themselves.
Like Tanzania or which?
I'm not mentioning any names.
I know,
But-
even it's just because.
We have a great historical relationship with South Africa. As in Kenya, yes, East Africa, but you know the places that the freedom fighters went to, like in Morogoro, and the relationship we had to wait for so many other countries to get the independence.
You
And
think
so
ECB
we have a great
remembers all
He
this?
too
You
rinka
think-
like a ranko like a tan.
Did he say
No,
anything?
can't-
Is he saying anything?
He's speaking the language they speak in coming to America, so it's fine. It's all right. It's okay.
You spoke it so. That was well done. That was well done. And you know, people now are talking about Dr. Mandipa. Is that her name?
Dr. Nandipa.
Nandipa.
So Tanzania
Thank you.
caught the
Oh, so
fugitives.
I see the relation. Okay,
Yeah.
still going on.
They
Still
caught-
No, all the other countries managed to, they slipped the net.
Yeah.
But in Tanzania,
They caught the-
even we're surprised, by the way.
Yeah. Everyone was surprised.
We're like, what?
Like,
They caught
they ran.
Yeah.
They ran after them. But yeah, that's a big story now.
That is a big story. It's not just Dr. Nandipa, but also the guy, the boyfriend.
Thabo.
Thabo Bester.
Besta.
Yeah.
Not the best of us.
No,
Not the best. Not the best.
He needs to change his name to the
Wow.
Wasta.
African prison break.
This is how you know you're Kenyan, Eric.
Yeah, like
Because we make humor in everything.
yeah. I think it's interesting that we've created this alliance, and the idea was that comedy is about bringing people together, and there's nothing as amazing as when you hear people laugh at other countries. So Tanzania, yeah, it's good when we laugh at Tanzania.
I can't.
I'm very bitter about Tanzania is because I was actually robbed in Tanzania.
So it's personal for you.
It's personal, and it's not personal because they robbed me.
Eh.
It's because it's personal when someone robs you in fluent Swahili. Because you feel very emasculated. It's like, samahani ndugu nipe simu. I'm like,
Stop.
now you can't even tell your bros. Like, you can't tell your
Stop
homies, like,
it.
what happened to your phone? It's like, it fell in the ocean.
No, you're like,
It's like,
they
you are
came.
in Arusha. Like, where's the ocean? You're like,
Eric, let's be honest. Kenyan thieves return your national ID to you.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Someone told me they sent via PO box.
Yes.
I'm like, there's nothing that says class, world class thief.
It's called
like that.
sustainability. It's sustainability.
I
You
like
can't
that.
lose
That's
your
forward
job
thinking.
just because I robbed you.
That's because I have to rob you
Yeah,
again.
I need to rob you again.
True.
It's a thing. You
I
spot.
very considerate thieves we have. Wow. This is the kind of exchange program
We want-
are talking about.
Thank you
This
for
is
putting
the
that on live TV.
development
Yes.
we've been discussing. No, but honestly though, I don't know where that came from. Ati naomba ati yo jamani sijui kama unaweza kunipa. But it's because of how polite they are.
Yeah, and also it's because we don't really understand the Swahili. So they say, tarakilishi. I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I don't have that
I am
one.
dying.
I left that one at home. I can give you,
Kikamilishi.
yeah, it's like, I don't know what that is.
Come on, you guys actually had a schedule for protesting. A schedule, a
Yes.
real life schedule.
Yes.
Like from 8 o'clock on this day, we'll be protesting into lunch. We break for 1 hour.
Even people have schedules for other things too.
Yes.
E.g.
You know, like I didn't think he was going to ask me. I hadn't thought of something else to say. I hadn't thought of anything else to say. But yeah, we do. We really do. I sometimes I wonder, like, when we look at all these other countries, when we're like, oh, look at them, they're also going through what we're going through. Or there was, is it funny, or at some point is it like sad? And you're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, it's all of us.
I actually think that it's one of those ways we make ourselves feel good about ourselves. So every time I look at the Kenyan shilling and I'm like, oh my God, like to the dollar, it's at 140. But then if I go with 200 shillings to Tanzania,
he knew.
If I go with 200 shillings to Tanzania, I become a millionaire. If I go to Uganda, I basically collapse the entire economy. You know, things like those.
You're the president.
Yes.
Actually, it was very embarrassing because I over-tipped someone.
You did.
And I didn't realize that I tipped someone 2,000. And guys, you know how much you excuse me, I'm not from here. Can I just give you your 200?
No, you did not. You did you?
Money is hard to come by.
It's true.
Yeah,
I would have
especially
done that.
yeah.
But for my guy, you know, I mean, you didn't care. You were like,
Money is
give
money.
me back my money. I
Money
know
is
I
money.
gave you, but I wanted to.
No shame in your game.
That is such an awkward interaction. Can you imagine? Because they're turning back so happy. They're like, they just gave me 2,000, Bob. Can you imagine if you had given dollars, you know? So she's like, hi, oh my gosh, what do you need? Is there anything? And you're like, I want money back. I want my money. It's so awkward. I think it's very awkward. But anyway, we haven't talked to Ian. Hi, Ian.
Hey.
I'm so sorry. These Africans make a lot of noise.
I know. I'm African.
Anyway, so welcome, Ian. You can tell us now. Of course.
Yeah, no. My name is Ian Lara, and I'm from New York. I was born and raised. I've been doing stand up out there, and word got to New York about what the Punchline was doing out here in Kenya. And when I had the opportunity to come, I had never been to Africa, so I was like, for sure, I would love to come. And I've been here a week, and I've just been soaking up the experience, hearing Africans argue with other Africans. It's been amazing. It's been great. Yeah.
You've been enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. I don't even know what you're saying, but I'm like, yeah, fight.
Yeah, you're like, that is hilarious.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. Did you? No, but it's I was talking about this earlier, and I want Eric to touch on it.
Yes.
That the comedy scene has changed.
Yes.
And I don't know about like SA, and I don't know about like TZ, Shiro. Of course, we're going to talk about the 2x4.
Rongai.
But comedy has changed. Like the content of what people do, how seriously they're taking their craft, how they get on stage. You know, you can tell that there's a lot of effort and planning that went behind. Like I know I make it look like I'm just hilarious on the fly, but there's a lot of preparation that's going behind it. So I wasn't lying about that, right?
Yeah. I think one of the things that, especially where comedy came from, was that it was very slapstick.
Yeah.
And initially what used to happen was that a lot of times people felt that comedians were clowns or jesters. And so it was very slapstick, it was very low hanging, it was very easy, sort of like you have lots of stereotypes. But when you think about the Kenyan audience and you think about an African audience, it's like, Africa has one of the most highly educated people in the world. And in order for you to make people laugh, there has to be a lot of thought behind it.
True.
And so over the last couple of years, we have amazing observational comedy from here. We have people who have a lot of witticism. And I talk to a lot of people and I travel a lot. And when I talk to people, and they're very shocked about the things that we know about them. So it's not only a local world view of who we are and our surroundings. We are able to talk about things like, for example, the war in Ukraine. We're able to talk about like the dollar. We're able to talk about oil prices. We're able to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Everything. And so the reason for that evolution is that the audiences in Kenya and across Africa have always demanded better. And the proliferation of internet and, like, for example, streaming services have exposed us to what that upper echelon is. And so it means for you to want to be a comedian here, you're not just being compared to the people here, you're being compared to the Ian Laras, you're being compared to the Ndumiso Lindis, you're being compared to the Evans Bukukus, you're being compared to all of these people on that stature. And so that means you must raise your game, you must be able to talk very articulately, you must be able to address the things that actually affect people here and now.
Yeah.
So that's something very important, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you bringing up social media, streaming services, and all of these things, people are very opinionated, right? So everyone has a microphone now.
They do.
Okay. And they have a lot to say. So do you feel like you're constantly walking on thin ice? Because you could just be on the dark side of the internet.
Yes. I feel like the internet is amazing, but it's also very dangerous because it's an echo chamber. you attract the same things that you think. You think to yourself, oh, I want to hear people who have the same political views as me. And if you go on the internet, you'll find that. You go and you say, I want to go and see people who think the world is shaped like a flying saucer. And you'll find those people. So the internet is beautiful because it allows people like ourselves to connect. But then it is also a dangerous place because it then allows you to be in an echo chamber very easily. Yeah. Before, if you are an idiot, you are just an idiot in your village or in your house.
Yeah.
But now you're an idiot who can command 6,000 other idiots on the internet. You can just be like, idiots, assemble, and they all come together.
They do.
Yes.
I feel like that's how it usually is.
Yep.
And they all agree with each other. And you're like, are you all really? How is it in SA though? Do you feel like now comedians are, being safer or?
The problem with Africans is that they try to emulate what they are doing in the US, So they see the people protesting against something that a comedian said there, and then they bring those standards to us, I always say, if you want to handle a subject, go ahead and handle it, but just know what you're doing and what message you're putting out there, and don't let those people control what you can say, what you cannot say, So that's what I've picked up.
Yeah.
And also with the internet, you find that even those people most of those people don't go to comedy shows. They will hear that, someone who, that's why I don't like people recording on the show.
Yeah, because they'll record a clip without context.
Exactly. So if you start your show saying, I don't like this politician.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I hate fat people.
So and then but you continue and elaborate why you're saying that, and then they're like, oh, we like the twist of that. But the person only posts, I don't like so and so.
That's true.
Then I will say an uproar. How dare you? Well, but you were not at the show. You don't know how this thing goes.
Has any one of you ever been cancelled?
I think I've been cancelled 1 or 2 times here and there.
Just once or twice, Eric? I feel like
just once or twice. The rest of it is like they cancel you and then they bring you back. So it's like a remix of sorts.
Yeah.
But then I feel also is that people forget that comedians, artists are a mirror to society. The things that we talk about, the things that we express are not necessarily just our own. It's our own interpretation of what's going on around us.
Yes.
So when you think about mirrors, you have concave mirrors, you have convex mirrors, you have mirrors that make you look skinny, look fat, like all of those. And the thing is, that is just a reflection of what it is.
Yeah.
It is not projecting something that does not exist.
Yes.
So all these issues that comedians tackle, these are issues that are around us. So when we talk about religion, when we talk about politics, when we talk about governance, when we talk about sexuality, when we talk about body images, this is our interpretation of what we are. So I always say comedians are like a vessel.
Yeah.
So whatever water is poured into it, that's the shape it takes. But then we are not the liquid. If you pour it in a different vessel, then it takes that particular shape.
Yeah.
And that's something that people should always want to understand. I always say, if you go and see a comedian, they're doing one of 3 things. They're making an introspective look, a retrospective look behind, or a perspective look to the future. So that's what you should always think about. Not like this person is giving his take, this is authority.
Yeah.
And why do we hold comedians to a higher standard than we do, let's say, politicians?
That is so true, because they say something and the next day he's in parliament or he's like flagging off something. I'm like, that guy, did you hear what he said?
Cancel
like, he slapped.
him.
We have people who've shot people, we have people who've slapped people, and they just went on with their day.
That's why some comedians became politicians.
Yeah. It was just becoming the same thing. You don't know if you're at the Apollo Theater, you don't know. Ian, do you feel like for you the jokes just write themselves?
No. I have to write them.
No. Let me just go home.
It's not easy. It's work. It's work, and it's a lot of failing. Like, it's a lot of things that's not funny, and then you try again, and then it gets a little funnier, and then you try again, and then it gets a little funnier, and then you do it for enough time, and then people think that, oh, this seems so simple or like easy, but no, I mean, at least not for me. It takes hard work.
I can't even, I'm dying. But no, it's because, especially during Trump's era. I mean, I feel like we're still in his era because you will find his tweet somehow. You will hear the message, right? And I remember, I don't know if it was Trevor Noah who was talking about this at some point. I don't know why I pointed at Isibisa. I'm like
it was
Trevor
your
Noah,
people.
your people, okay,
Yeah.
your people. But he, you know, the content from Trump was enough to last the show a few years. Like he would just do something that was funny just
You know
by
what's
itself.
the problem with that though is when politicians do such things, the way where the comedy goes, they just throw you that content. Is that a lot of other comedians who see this easy access to these jokes, they all reach out and grab it. Now, you have to make it your own, which is what he's saying. I need to write it the way that it's my style. Otherwise, you're going to sound like everyone else. And then you might end up with, let's say these guys are all talking about Trump, saying you should inject detergent or whatever in your body. And we all have the same joke. But now he starts, and I'm closing. I can't do that, so I need to move on. You know?
Oh my days.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So like, has that happened? Like Eric goes on stage before, and you're like, oh man, I had a similar joke. You don't prepare together. Like you don't.
So for example, here with Punchline, we do a lot of workshopping, and there's a lot of trying to compare different jokes and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But whenever certain things happen, for example, if something happens in the news, you all see it.
True.
And the idea has always been the first thing that comes to your head, you have to rethink it. Because on most occasions, you'll think to yourself, oh, this just happened, so this is easy enough. I'm going to make a joke about injecting bleach into your system. But then every other comedian, that's the first vein that you go to. So a lot of times we have what we call parallel thinking, whereby you all have the same idea, and then you go on stage and you say it, and the next person goes on stage and says it. But the mark of a true comedian is we might be saying the same things, but it's how we say it.
That is very true. That is very true. I was watching, I think, was it The Roast or something? And they would make the same joke, but not the same joke, but then they would talk about the same subject. And they'd bring out different sides to it. And I'm like, oh, that was funny. Oh, and that's funny too. And I'm like, oh, wow. Shira, how are you taking it all? Because you're new in all of this. And
like the baby.
Yeah,
literally age-wise and also comedy age-wise.
Are they? Is there mentorship happening?
There is mentorship, especially in terms of the workshops. Because when you're writing jokes, you think you're funny when you're writing them in your house.
Your friends,
your
boyfriend,
think you're funny.
He's like, babe, you crack me up.
Boyfriend, I don't know. If I get one, I'll tell you. If
but
your
I'm
friends,
funny. Your friends are like,
your friend thinks you're funny. Your mom thinks you're funny. When you go to the workshop, and that mentorship sort of program starts, that's when you realize, I'm not as funny as I thought.
It's very humbling, yeah?
It's very humbling.
Are they very honest? Are they just like
not
blunt?
very honest, brutally honest.
Oh, brutally.
Yes.
It's Evans. I can tell.
It's the audience. If you know you can't fake a laugh continuously. You just like
especially when you're new.
Oh, this is when you get on stage.
Yeah. No, the workshop also is very brutal in terms of working on your material. But also the audience, as much as you're new, especially when I was still very, very new, they feel like they want to support you. But as Evans is saying, they can't laugh for too long, and they're
like
faking the laughter.
It's like, and you can tell. Can you tell? Can anyone tell? You can tell. Why can't you just be like, well, thank you, and just
I think once I was on stage and it was going so badly, I had someone say, "Woi." I was like,
what about Ian? Has that ever happened to you?
When
you're on stage and you're doing your thing, and the joke isn't going well, or the set is just.
Has that ever happened? Almost exclusively, yeah. It happens a lot.
Not for tomorrow.
Not for tomorrow, please.
Hopefully. What's the worst thing anyone's ever done at your show that you thought, just
I always remember a quick story. I was doing a show in Canada, in Vancouver, and I flew all the way to Vancouver to do the show, and it was like a drunk audience. It was all white Canadians. And everybody was just talking, and then in the middle, I was like 5 minutes in, no one was listening to me, and this white lady just got up. You could tell she was like the mom of The Office, and she was like, hey, this black boy flew all the way from America to tell jokes to you guys, so sit down and listen to him. And then they just sat down and listened to me. It was nice. It was quite nice.
Did they?
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
just continued with the show.
Yeah,
like,
I just I was like, thanks.
listen to what she's so. As I was saying,
Yeah,
this
it
one
was
time I
quite
was at a bar. That is, oh man. But anyway, they have a big show for you. They have a big show.
Yes.
Eric, tell them where they can go. Who else will be there?
Yes, it's an amazing show. This is the second installment. This is Relative 2 When the Worlds Collide. We have the guys who are here, Evans Bukuku, Shiru Mwangi, Ndumiso Lindi, and of course Ian Lara. But we also have Shaz Neritu. We have Tiger Shera who's on there. We have John Ribeir.
Good, Ty.
We have Marcus Douglas, and it's all hosted by someone who is actually a legend in the comedy game, although he's in a different type of format.
Yeah.
It's Jason Runo.
Yeah.
So this is happening all tomorrow, Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th. On Saturday it starts at 7, and on Sunday it basically starts at 4. And tickets are 2,500 shillings. It's an amazing lineup. There's also a new person who just basically flew in because she spent about 28 hours at the airport. This is a South African lady, legendary in her own status. Miss Tumi Morake is also here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be really big. I think I'll go all the different days. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it, guys.
Yes.
I really, really am. I wanted to say something so profound.
Go ahead, please.
Life
You're a
is
good
like
role.
a spoon.
Yeah.
That's all I have so far. That's all Anyway, but thank you guys for coming through. Honestly, I appreciate it.
For having
Scooping is
us.
important.
Scooping is important. And make sure
Thank
it's
you, Eva.
silver.
High five. High five. Anyway, so there will be tickets that we will be giving away.
Yes.
Are we for real?
Yeah.
Oh, how many tickets are we giving away?
Just 2.
2? That's
Yes.
so cool. Quat, you don't count. You work with us.
Yeah.
You can afford to buy the ticket. Sir, that's Quat, my co-host. So we have 2 tickets we're going to give away. What's the question? As we take
The
a break?
question is very simple. Is who is performing for the second time at Distant Relatives?
Okay, that's it. So if you have the answer at the Trend Live, the hashtag is Hamina, and the tickets are yours. We're about to take a quick break. We'll be back with Case and Sarah Cassie.